How does the Chinese economic reforms translate into Hong Kong? A lot of people say one country, two policies. So when we talk about China, are we also including Hong Kong? And if so, how does that translate into Hong Kong?
It's not a one country, two policies. In fact, it's a one country, two systems. So it's more broader than policies. It means China adopt a socialist system and Hong Kong still remain capitalist. Basically, what I'm said will be implemented in the mainland China, China proper, since, as I said, two systems. So we are building socialism with the Chinese characteristics, and Hong Kong still practicing capitalism, maybe with Hong Kong characteristics. So, but there's a big complementary between the two economies. I think Hong Kong benefit greatly, tremendously from China, from mainland China, both in terms of not only financial sector, service sector, and so I think with this deepening reform in China, and I think Hong Kong will be provided with enormous opportunities as well. I can deliver another speech on opportunities for Hong Kong. And so I will stop there. So I think what I said here in the opportunities for China-UK relationship partly might be applied to cooperation between Hong Kong and China. In fact, I'm now working another speech for the subject you just raised, because I'm invited to give a talk to Hong Kong Association in London just in a few weeks' time. So I will give a deep thought on that. And thank you.
Thank you. Andrew Khan, Chairman of the Huawei Technologies Advisory Board here in Britain. Ambassador, thank you for your speech. May I ask you two questions? Firstly, I was delighted that opportunity number 4 was for more financial cooperation between our two countries. We already have some. When we are planning more, do you think we will simply be cooperating with Hong Kong as China's major financial center, or are we likely to see Shanghai develop and indeed other regional financial centers develop? In other words, where should Britain and the City UK, which represents the financial services sector here, where should we be putting our efforts? Second question about inward investment, in Chinese investment in this country. It's already accelerated remarkably over the last 5 or 6 years from really very minimal superficial investment into quite profound investment. When, though, can we expect China to begin to own companies here in the way that we expect American or German enterprises to participate in ownership of companies and to make large investments, not just capital investments, but joint ventures with British companies?
Mm-hmm. On your first question, I do not see there's a conflicting nature between building a financial center in Shanghai and keeping Hong Kong as an international financial center. I would say they are complementary to each other. They all have their uniqueness, and it's not a bad thing in an open market when you have more players. So I think it will provide more opportunities for British financial sector and service sector. And British businesses already express strong interest in free trade zone in Shanghai. Financial sector will be very important part of this free trade zone in Shanghai, financial and services. And so Britain can offer, there's much that Britain can offer. So I would say, I've been always asked about this question, whether people in Hong Kong are becoming more nervous about Central government will support Shanghai to build a financial center, international center. I think Shanghai will not be a substitute for Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong will be indispensable, both in terms of its own standing and also in terms of its relation with China, mainland China. So there's still more and more Chinese companies from mainland company got listed in Hong Kong. This because there's still great advantages for Chinese companies be listed there and going global. They see Hong Kong still as a window, as a platform, a springboard for Chinese companies. 2 years ago, I visited Hong Kong, and I have very in-depth discussions with the local authorities, and I feel the same way. I found Hong Kong has its well-established market. Shanghai is still developing, and also both in terms of consulting, advertising, legal assistance. I think Hong Kong really enjoy indispensable role. So I would like to see Hong Kong and Shanghai compete in a very friendly, complementary way. On the second question, I think it won't be long for Chinese companies to own companies here. In fact, we already have some Chinese companies here. They bought the company, but they still remain the brand, like MG, Shanghai Automobile Industry Group. They bought MG, and they are hired about. They in fact invent the model of this corporation. It's called Designed in Britain, manufactured in Shanghai, in China, and assembled in Britain, and of course sell in Britain. So this kind of model. I accompanied Premier Wen Jiabao to this factory in Longbridge during his visit. I think this is a very successful model, and currently they hired about 300 to 400 technicians. And the chairman of Shanghai automobile industry told me they benefit greatly, because they found British technicians are very creative in terms of designing, and though they paid more. They paid the designers much more money than the designers in Shanghai, but they think the money, is spent worthwhile. And also another company, Geely, bought the taxi car, in Coventry, and also Guangming, the food industry, bought the Weetabix here, although they still keep the brand. So starting, ever since the Guangming, I seldom eat Weetabix products. So, since Guangming, called the Bright Food Industry, bought this factory, I turn attention to it, and each time I traveling, stay in the hotel for the breakfast, I take a Weetabix. No, it's a kind of contribution to the China-UK cooperation. Thank you.